This show is a part of Pop Americana. For more great shows like this one, please check the link in the episode description. Cartoons, the animated frontier. These are the voyages of the Cellcast podcast. Its continuing mission to explore strange new cartoons, to seek out new animation styles and new creative storytelling methods, to boldly go where so few ever go again.
Am I wrong? Okay. This progress is a part of Christian Geek Central Network. Wrong.
Hey, Scoop, what are you doing, man?
I don't know. I'm supposed to be reading an ad.
All right, hold on. Give me it.
Okay.
All right, this podcast is part of the Christian Geek Central Network at ChristianGeekCentral.com.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Cellcast,
The animated series.
Joining me today is a man who just likes flying in a balloon, Jacob.
Why, thank you, and I'd like to introduce our co-host, a man who just has to stick his nose in everything. Welcome, Drew.
How are you doing, Jacob?
Man, I'm doing fantastic today.
Alrighty. Well, today we are going through Tangled the Series once again, and we are on Season 1, Episode 9, Under Wraps. That's spelled R-A-P-S, by the way. First aired August 6, 2017. It was directed by Tom Caulfield and written by Kelly Hannon. It features the first appearance of Dean Winters as Andrew, and the first appearance of Adewale Akinwumi Agbeje, I probably said that wrong, as Xavier. Going into the summary for this, it is the Day of Hearts, commemorating the day when two rival kingdoms united by the loving union of their leaders. That is a weird sentence. That's literally what it says.
Huh.
United by the loving union. Okay, I'm just reading it because it sounds like it's going. The sentence is continuing, but it doesn't.
I gotcha.
Okay. It is the Day of Hearts, commemorating the day when the two rival kingdoms were united by the loving union of their leaders. But Cassandra is unusually moody and distracted. Turns out she has a secret crush by the name of Andrew, but is her heart what he is really after?
We shall see.
Going into the trivia on this, of course, the title is a pun on the phrase under wraps, meaning a secret, which technically Andrew has.
Yeah, true.
Like I said earlier, it introduced the character of Xavier. Xavier was a deleted character from early versions of Tangled, and he in that original version, he was intended to be a sidekick for Rapunzel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The drawings of King Hersday Sonand and General Champenier from the beginning of the episode are based off of early designs of King Frederick and Queen Ariana.
Okay.
And during this episode, Cassandra does reference the events of the last episode, Great Expotations.
True.
So, what do you think of this episode?
Love is in the air, but is it? Kind of? Not really? Maybe, maybe not.
It is a mini splendored thing, but it is also fickle.
Yeah, that is true.
As we both well know.
Yes, that is true. Crush my heart and leave me to die. Oh,
right.
There you go.
Anywho.
Either way.
So one of the things that summary didn't go into, and admittedly, I'm pulling these summaries off of the Disney wiki in a lot of cases. Okay. For whatever reason, this one and the next couple, they read like the synopsis that would have been on the episode title thing. Where it just doesn't really go into what happens. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't get into the fact that, Andrew, which, by the way, I hate this guy because he has my name. And he gives a bad what's the word I'm looking for?
Representation?
Yeah. He gives us other Drews a bad name.
Oh, okay.
Because this is a very sleazy jerk.
Agreed. He's
got a good reason for his point of view, granted. He is
Right.
a separatist, which, good night, why are there separatists in this kingdom?
They're always separate.
There's always somebody who would prefer it go back to the way it once was when we were angry at each other.
Can we go back to a greater day?
Yes. But and of course he's not just a villain. He is a villain who has to toy with one of our characters' hearts.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason I hate him.
I gotcha.
Because here's the thing. I did not know Cassandra before we watched Before Ever After.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was just about to say. Before Ever After.
Right.
But I've grown to like her as a character. She's unlike, admittedly, when we first were talking about it, I knew this was a well-made series, but I kind of assumed that any of the characters created specifically for the series were not going to be as well-developed
Yeah.
as the characters for the movie. That's not the case here, because Cassandra is probably... She's a very well-rounded character.
Yeah.
In some ways, I think right so far her character is overdeveloped.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm assuming some of that's going to straighten up.
It will
later on when
it will.
The extremely obvious thing about her
mystery
about her character becomes apparent.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say about that. I've already. I think I figured something out.
Okay.
But I do not want. If I am correct, I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Okay.
But, this is not the kind of episode I think of when I think of a children's television show. Not the subject matter, mind you.
Right.
Because let's face it, we both watched Star Wars. This kind of thing is all over that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I don't think of something this quality.
Yeah.
So many times when you watch a quote-unquote kids show, they throw whatever is up there and they don't really work too hard into it.
Yeah.
There's a lot that works so well in this episode.
Yeah, there's some more in-depth and layers into what they do with it. The fact to be like, also we point out the fact that like Rapunzel and her wisdom, I might say, that has this a tendency of be like, oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, this isn't that episode.
No, that's not that. That's not that episode. She has a tendency of meddling a little bit, and it's like, oh, I want to make I want to make everything happy.
Really?
Yeah, you never know about that character.
She's a meddlesome teenager.
Yeah,
she'd fit in with 4 other teenagers and a dog that solve mysteries.
I don't know, maybe. But it's there again. I'd
have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for all that dang hair.
Oh,
sorry.
No, you're good. It's Rapunzel being Rapunzel, and her just be like wanting to make everybody happy. It's part of who she is, and I think we see the progression of her that never changes, changes with the series, and it's very refreshing to hear a character like that because as an adult you get kind of cynical about life and. Be like you just see that like optimism all the time, and it's very encouraging in a way. And then you have the fight on the hot air balloon.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. That was just incredibly genius.
This is the most epic sword fight I think I've seen in a long time.
Right.
In an animated kids cartoon.
Yeah. And also the fact to be like Cassandra. We'll just call her Cass. Be like,
or is it Cass?
Cass.
I'm being facetious.
But Cass, be like from the start, knew what his agenda was. Mm-hmm. It's just the level of understanding and discernment what this character has. Yeah. And then, of course...
at no point in the... because Cass is an extremely good actress.
Yeah.
The entire time, it does really feel like, okay, love has caused her to make a horrible, horrible, horrible mistake. until that last thing. It's like, yeah, I knew what you were doing the whole time. It's like,
yeah.
That actually works because it's recontextualized in a way that works. Anytime you have one of these twists where the character knew what was happening all along and was playing it, it doesn't work if, when it's revealed, it doesn't recontextualize everything that came before, where you can see, oh, I see what you were doing this whole time.
Right.
In this one, it does. Because you're just like, okay, I now understand why you were trying to keep Rapunzel out of it.
Yeah.
More than just, oh, I just want to take care of it myself. No, she was literally protecting Rapunzel.
Yeah. That's her job, after all.
But then you still get like the nice scene of Rapunzel dangling from her hair, from the hot air balloon, going right through the thicket of thorns that look like they came straight out of Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I don't know why you wanted to save this ring. Why you wanted to get this ring fixed. You know this is the symbol of the seditionists. The what? I never would have guessed this was coming. Actually, I kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But just because it's like, well, you wouldn't have had that big, long story in the beginning if it wasn't going to come back in this episode. So
that's one of the things when it comes to the series, the fact that they bring something up, they bring in the conclusion with, you would have a lot of other cartoons or other animated series where they would bring something up and it would maybe briefly talked about or it never be brought up again.
Right.
Because it's just be like, oh, here's a filler information we give you nothing about.
The way this one's written, at least it's like, okay, we've hit the point where we've got to explain this bit of information. We're going to explain it. It's going to be important for this episode, and we may not touch on it again for 10 more episodes.
Yeah.
But it's coming back. It's an important piece. I know this because I looked up, I was looking up to see if Andrew came back at some point.
Yeah.
Not trying to spoil anything.
Right.
But I did find out he at least does show back up one more time. So it's like, okay, even this side character, you're going to bring this side person no one likes.
Yeah.
He is at least going to show back up again.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, they're with how the story is written, be like you do have recurring characters and characters you not spoiling anything, but a character or characters come back to have a more impactful meaning. So yeah, like this story does kind of build more and more and more to what's going in the story, and I enjoyed it. There again, the sword fight in the hot air balloon was hilarious and great. Yeah, it was so well done, well executed, and it's an incredibly well done episode. It's a very well crafted, very well executed episode.
Alrighty. Well, that brings us to the end of this discussion. So join us next time for the episode One Angry Princess. Come, Jacob. We must prepare for next week.
Prepare for what, Drew?
The same thing we do every week, Jacob. Record a podcast.
Oh, boy.
So where can they find you, Jacob?
You can find me on Facebook at Jacob B. Heron, also on Facebook at Jacob's Daily Art Corner, where I try to draw each and every day. I don't get to it as often as I like, but join me there. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Jacob B. Heron, on Twitter at Jacob Heron, and Letterboxd at Jacob Heron. So where can they find you, Drew?
You can also follow me on Letterboxd at GGeorge759, Facebook as Drew Dodgen, my Facebook page where you can see pictures I've taken at Drew's Photo Bin. You can also follow me on Twitter at GGeorge759.
You can email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com.
You can also follow us on Twitter at cast_cell.
You can follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/thecellcastgaming.
You can also follow us on YouTube at Cellcast.
Listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts,
Google Play Podcasts,
Stitcher,
Spotify,
and your favorite podcast directory.
You can also listen to us on the Movie of the Week podcast with Jim Heron, where we talk about live-action movies. And remember, Cell is a single L.